What is up, everybody? Jester here, and I know it's been a little while since I've made some No Man's Sky stuff. We did cover Worlds Part 1, but recently I was given a recommended video that was released 4 days ago claiming to automate nanites. And for those of you who've been following me, you know I did a whole series on the best ways and most effective ways of getting nanites, and I thought maybe I missed something. So I had to go check this out, but I've got my doubts because I don't think there's any way of automating nanites. And this leads me down a bigger rabbit hole that we'll get to a little bit later that I think's kind of suspect. But for now, let's just cover the claim of it being an automated nanite farm. Let's get into it. Our story today starts with YouTuber OneWeasel1, who 4 days ago released a video entitled Fully Easy Automated Nanite Farm 2024. And basically what they're saying is you can use carbon pellets to feed robots, and that will be collected in the livestock unit for chewy wires. Now, as far as I know, you need ion batteries to feed these things, and you can't even put ion batteries in the feeders, so I believe. But I wanted to check this out for myself to see if it actually worked. To illustrate my point, I found a robot world and interacted with my first robot fauna here. You can clearly see it says 1 ion battery required to feed this animal. But once you do it, you can re-interact with it and you can tug at the wires. This works like milking, and you receive chewy wires, which you can then consume for between 7 and 10 nanites usually. I think it averages about 9. I do also want to say that it's fair to mention Hello Games has added these larger robotic fauna now that still require an ion battery to feed, but when you do and re-interact and tug at those wires, you actually get more wires. We got 3 in this case. It could vary, I don't know, but we got 3. Now, I know how these feeders and these livestock harvesters work, and I know that they're pretty much within render distance, but I want to give this a fair chance because this person is either clickbaiting their title or they got something I don't know. So we're going to do 3 different tests here. I'm going to build the base as they did, and then I'm going to stand inside the little round room for 30 minutes and see what we yield. I am then going to teleport away to another base, stand there for 30 minutes, come back to this base and see what it yields. And then I'm going to do a third 30-minute AFK test to where I'm on the same planet but out of render distance and see what we yield here. I'm pretty sure how this is going to turn out, but you know, I'm a sucker for science. So I followed the base design to a T, put everything in a hexagonal pattern, and lo and behold, you can't even put ion batteries in a feeder, which is something really weird. And thank you, Hello Games, for being consistent. But as it turns out, you can actually feed these things with carbon pellets via a feeder. It's such a weird mechanic, but I digress. We went ahead and stood inside the house for 30 minutes. And after that 30 minutes was over, I ran back down and I turned the machine off. You can see here, we've got a massive crowd of robot animals. So I'm going to cut the power to this. And there is a little bit of a kind of a hitch to this because we're still actually collecting chewy wires because things are still eating the pellets that were on the ground. As you can see here, we go from 306 to 307 to 308. 309. It ended up getting about 335, and at 9 nanites apiece, that's going to be about 3,015 nanites in 30 minutes. After doing my best to wait until everything was collected, I rehooked up the power and went ahead and portaled over to another base. It doesn't really matter where we're going to go, but we kind of ruled this out as a good source because it's only about 6,000 nanites an hour, and if you want to stand here and do that and be AFK, I suppose you can. But mostly, we just want to get away from the base at this point, and our 30 minutes is going to start now. While I was waiting, however, I got quite bored just standing around for 30 minutes, so I wanted to show you what an actual automated farm looks like. It looks like this. It's got miners, it's got supply depots. These things work whether you're online, offline, whether you're in the area or not in the area. You can come back here at any time, and as long as the storage isn't full, it will continue to collect resources for you. This is automation. Finally, mercifully, the 30 minutes ended and I was able to come back over, cut power, and we collected 7 chewy wires. Now, I suspect that those chewy wires were actually that were either left on the ground or they were the ones that were collected as we were leaving the portal, and nothing that was actually collected while we were gone. 7 total in 30 minutes. But I do want to be fair here. I want to go back and I want to turn the power on, and I want to actually go away from the base here just far enough to where I'm still on the planet, but we're going to give this a chance to work while away because I think we've already disproven that this is in any way or shape or form automated. I want to be fair in my testing here and not just call this out. And when I got what I felt was far enough away, it was literally like a 15-second flight. I wanted to show you that we are 16 minutes, 53 seconds by foot away from the base. It's only about 20 to 22 seconds in flight. But we literally just sat in my ship for 30 minutes until this test was up. When we did finally return after that grueling 30 minutes of where I just had to sit and watch YouTube videos or whatever it might be, I really didn't have much expectation because I know this isn't going to work. It's not automated in any way at all. But we wanted to be, like I said, thorough and fair before we drew judgment. And as you can see, we're going to cut the power, same as we've done on every other test. And then we're going to walk up to the harvester. And lo and behold, we've got two chewy wires. There is no world where this is actually automated. What you can call this is an AFK farm. So if you wanted to, you could actually stay here overnight. Let's leave the game on, and it would collect a ton for you. So I'm not going to call it out as being completely fake, but you got to be here for it to work. It's not like the automated miners or anything like that to where it works whether you're here or not. So I really feel like this title is at the very best clickbait, and at the very worst, it's extremely misleading to No Man's Sky players that are going to click on this video and think they're getting something that they're just not getting. With the automated portion of this completely out the window, and no hate to Weasel whatsoever, but I do want to point this out because I saw something really weird in the numbers on their channel with 785 subs. Something shouldn't be happening the way they're happening, and I got a sneaking suspicion somebody isn't playing by the rules. I mentioned earlier how this video has amassed 13,000 views in 4 days. And in a singularity, that could be absolutely true because everybody's going to click on this because it's absolute clickbait at this point. Automated nanite farm. Everybody's going to click on that to see. But then I started looking at the channel a little closer, and you can see that for an 875 sub channel, these views are ridiculously high over the last several days and then even a couple of weeks. I think going back a few months, sure, you can get some views like that over a 10-month period. But these views in 4 days and 9 days and 8 days, it's just kind of ridiculous that they're getting this many views with that many subs and their sub count isn't higher. In contrast, if you go to a channel like Jason Plays, for example, 222,000 subscribers, has been around forever in the No Man's Sky community, and is a trusted and well-known source of information when it comes to No Man's Sky. 4 days ago, released the Corrupted Sentinels milestone video, only has 11,000 views off of 222,000 subs. 3 days ago, a 12,000 view video. 2 days ago, 6.8 views. You get what I'm getting at. Now I'm going to show you a couple others. Another prime example of this is Captain Steve, another YouTuber that's been around forever, and I learned a lot from Captain Steve when I was coming up in the game, well before I ever started making content. But in comparison, you can see that with 45,000 subscribers, just a little over 45K, they're getting, I don't know, 1,000 views or so, 1,500 views on a 5-day-old video, about 1,000 views on 3-day-old, 4,200 views, which is that kind of not necessarily clickbait, but it's just that was the topic that people were looking for on that day to get up to that level. But you can see that these views are not proportionate in any way when it comes to the size of the channel versus the views that these people are getting. Let me give you one more example. Another YouTuber who I personally follow, Professor Cynical, 26,000 subscribers, been around forever, another great trusted source of information, particularly when it comes to certain glitches and things like that. Just cool information to know. Been a fan of Cynical for a long time. 4 days ago, they released the Update News Console Freezes Issues Fixed video, 2,000 views. You would think that'd be a pretty trending topic, considering there's a ton of people that are on console playing this game. 3 days ago, Update News, the inbound fixes are inbound, 962 views. So you can see this is really not very proportionate. Anyone that knows me or spends any length of time with me knows that, number one, I hate drama. I don't want to cause drama. I don't want to be in drama. I don't want to hear about your drama. I don't give a damn about drama. I'm Gen X to the core. My feelings are probably going to hurt yours. It doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is that I still feel like something is just not quite right here. And I got a couple of reasons that I'll tell you. I've got no concrete evidence, so I'm not going to start drama by saying something is something. But let me know in the comments what you guys think it looks like after you hear me out here. First of all, and as you probably should, at 500 subs, you can actually monetize through memberships. And they have done this all the way through this. And you can see that these members' first videos One was put out a day ago. This one was 6 hours ago. So it's not even a full day between these videos, which makes me wonder about effort when it comes to the video. The second thing that really bothers me is when you go into the playlist and you select No Man's Sky. This was 8 days ago. Apparently this person's career started 8 days ago in No Man's Sky and has already amassed all these thousands of views. It's just kind of suspect to me. I'm sure there's someone out there going, oh, Jay's just jelly because he doesn't get a lot of views on YouTube. And that's not even the point. The point is that I make these things for fun. I never expect to make a dime, let alone a living doing this. This is my hobby. I make it because I enjoy it. I love covering topics. Sadly, I'm covering this for not a reason I like to, because of clickbait. And I don't want the newer players that are coming in because of Worlds 1 to actually fall into this trap of following the wrong kind of content. I hope Weasel will think about maybe changing the title of that video to AFK Farm. Nobody would have a problem with that, but this is certainly not automated. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about a few things that are not great, so some negatives, but that's going to be followed by some positives. Because something finally happened after quite a while that I've been waiting to make a video on, and it interests me, so we're going to do it. But we're going to talk about both the good and the bad, and it should be a good time. So subscribe to see more, hit the bell so you know when the video comes out, and like the videos. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.